collapse of life as we know it, as perpetrated by the global military-industrial complex. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the host of the Ronald Show, Ronald.
My boys tell me you've got a big operation over at Channelside. Not in my city. Not without me.
You can't stop it. It's Tampa's biggest film festival. There's red carpet parties and celebrities and premieres for movies from all over the world, including mine.
When's this going down?
February 26th at the Tampa Theater.
Yo, I got this idea for a movie.
What if a government intelligence analyst from the Pentagon is forced to save mankind from extinction and the world from destruction, but first he must evolve into the Messiah and create the plan to save the world? The 21st century Messiah arrives, battles dark forces, and sparks the Armageddon that leads to the apocalypse, rapture, the 2012 pole shift, and extraterrestrial contact. Buy the book today by Ronald Farnham at Amazon and Barnes & Noble. The Second Coming of the Messiah, Book 1, The Awakening.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the Ronald Show. I'm Ronald, and it is Saturday morning, 23 April 2011, and you are watching the 13th episode, or maybe it's the 12th, or maybe it's the 14th episode of the Ronald Show. Now, I've been coming at you a lot of times every day with all kinds of stuff. A lot of it's been about P90X, which I'm still doing. Last night I did Cardio X. Week 5, day 5. So I'm almost done with the first week of Cardio X. I've been busy. It's Saturday. I am headed to the flea market to sell stuff for the biz, which I'll be doing for a couple days. I'm covering for my sister. She runs it. Booth makes like $1,000 a weekend, which isn't bad because it's mainly profit. I got to pay for the booth. Got to pay for we own our own warehouses, so we can pull our product there, so there's no storage fees or anything. So, today is April 23rd, Saturday, 2011, and things are pretty quiet. It's Saturday morning. I'm going to go to Dunkin' Donuts for the Ronald Show, documenting the collapse of life as we know it, as perpetrated by the global military-industrial complex. That is what we are talking about on the Ronald Show. And I said a little while back that I was going to make an announcement, and I think it is about time for that announcement, because I think the world is ready now for what the announcement is going to be and what we are going to do about it. I've pretty much laid out all of the truthful information about the state of our condition as a human species here on planet Earth, living, as opulently as we can while we are speeding really fast towards being turned into a third world country as far as our dollar value, which is dropping. Basically, gas prices are now $4 a gallon here in the United States, and that's just in Florida. The other places is $5, $6. Pack of cigarettes, $8. The essentials, cigarettes, gas, and alcohol, are all being mightily taxed. Eggs, milk, bread is going up. 10 years ago, it was like $1.09 for a loaf of bread. Now it's $2.79, $3.25 for a loaf of bread. So the prices are going up, yet our wages are not going up conversely. So we are basically being highly divided right now as a human species by the corporate millionaires and billionaires and government that is doing this to our currency and our prices. And then there's the other class, which is the poor fuckers, poor people, which is anybody who's not a millionaire or billionaire, because prices are about to jack right up even further, and jobs are about to be decreased also as businesses close. Thousands and thousands of people, and there are millions of people out of work right now. So the United States is a 300 million person, human being, citizen, because that's what we are, we're citizens in the United States corporation, 300 million of us, being run by one company, well, a few different companies. Your life's being controlled by the government corporation itself, the United States corporation. Then you have your different state corporations that you pay taxes to them too. So you're basically under state, local, and federal corporations. Federal being government, or federal being nationwide, the big parent company, which is just a sub company underneath the even bigger parent company over in Europe and London and England and the city and all that stuff. And you can see, if you look through history and do a little bit of research, how we are organized as a corporate structure planet-wide. And that corporate structure completely operates on the monetary system. And the monetary system is what controls the dollar. Food prices. Everything that has you stressed out and working your tail off to barely scrape by now here in the United States. Built up the United States, we had our boom times, 250 years. We're going through another cycle of economic collapse, like the Great Depression. It's just a manipulation of currencies, and it's been going on for thousands and thousands of years by all of the companies that basically set up and do this. Any monarchy, any company, something that rules large groups of people. And I'm not saying we don't need to be ruled. I'm not saying we don't need to have a structure in place. That's why I'm not saying that we just abolish everything. I'm saying let's start a new company with different rules and bylaws. The company that's currently working is actually spreading global war and profiting from it. Most of our tax money goes towards the Department of Defense. So everything that you live and breathe for is paying 30, 40, 60% of everything you earn basically is going to, in a form of taxes, is going to the Department of Defense for its, huge warring global industrial complex that it has developed with construction companies, with the Department of Homeland Security, with the Department of Energy. There's just a number of different departments within that company that have even a stronger hold on your daily rights. So what I'm announcing is that I am starting a new company. And I'm going to ask everyone to join the company. It's going to be like Facebook. You sign up, you put down where you live, what your name is, your first and last name, your not your capital corporate name, your human being name. So I'm starting that company and I want everyone to join. And that is the way that we can start a new company with different rules and a different way of treating people. That way you can learn a new standard of life that has been kind of taken away from you. So what we're doing, what the goal here is to start a new company. I'm not going to wait online here at Dunkin' Donuts for coffee. I got to get to the flea market. So the new company, everyone sign up, and then on a specific day, after everybody has signed up on the planet, we're going to all disenroll from the current company. What we need before we do the whole transition is that everybody be on board, not just human beings that are considered the poor now, but I mean we need also the rich and elite business people. We need, the Walton family to say, hey, we're a part of this too. Our company will share resources globally. Sure, why not? I mean, no monetary system. I understand what you're saying. We don't have to pay slave labor anymore. We can go clean up those sweatshops where most of our stuff is made, because money won't matter. Now we can start increasing our standard of living. So as founder and president of the new company, everybody can continue doing what they're doing and doing it for not the purpose of profit, but for the purpose of doing it well, healthy, wise. So what am I saying? I'm not going to run everything. Everything can continue to run as it is. We just won't have a monetary system, because once all those accounts go away, once everyone disenrolls from the United States government corporation, and that monetary system disappears because there's no more accounts through which to process commerce based on our social security number and our corporate account, we have a new company. So the Federal Reserve goes bye-bye. The currency globally goes bye-bye, because remember, this is global. Every language, every country, and there's still a few Zulu tribes that we have definitely got to see about domesticating. But it doesn't have to be everybody. I don't know. If you don't do it and you stick with it, if everybody doesn't do this, you're basically saying that you want to remain enslaved and you want to remain as part of a warmongering, totalitarian, whatever that means, capitalistic, socialistic, warring, murdering, Illuminati-driven powers that be, collapse of life as we know it, thriving off of company that you want to be enslaved in. And your slave number is your social security number. So what we've got is a planet that's enslaved by one or several large companies working together, called the global military industrial complex, running you. You can stay stuck with them, or you can join the new company that I'm going to set up. That's going to be it's going to be basically where you're going to sign up for your new life. Only you won't be bound by any commercial laws, because there will be a monetary system with which to place value on things the way you currently understand value. What will be of value will be what that thing itself is worth, not how much, but how useful and helpful and good and wise it is. So that's going to be the strategy of the new company. And with that strategy in place, our lives will exponentially jump to a much higher standard of living very quickly. Once we assess that profit is no longer our motivator, things will be done for a different purpose entirely. Your entire life will take on a new meaning, because you won't be spending 8, 10, 12 hours a day, 5, 6, 7 days a week, attempting to earn something that is man-made and not God-given. Does that make sense? What you want, and I'm not here to give you what the definition of God is. I believe that's something personal to everyone, but they say God is all that is. So if you're experiencing it and you understand it, and you can see it and touch it and hear it and smell it, then there's a strong possibility that there's a larger entity that has created all of this, if that's what you're saying God is, and knows everything that's going on all the time at any given second. So that's I guess, I don't know, is that what God is? I'd like to get the definition of God. Write to me. Email me something. I'm tired of reading email. I'm starting to enjoy getting things in the mail again, like in the actual mail, where you get actual, like a physical thing you can just sit with and read and take with you. I think magazines are nice in that way, especially when I'm out at the flea market. I can just chill out. And I'm not out there often. This might be our last month because I'm about to move to Miami, to South Beach, to run the film department branch and the merchandising and the talent branch of an entertainment company with global distribution and a whole bunch of different things. So I'm fixing to move to Miami. Hopefully it's going to stay above water for a while. I'm definitely going to get an apartment that's 20 stories up at a minimum. And I'll probably fill up one room while I'm there with gallons of water and food. Today I'm starting a 40-day fast. I'm not going to eat for 40 days. I'm going to do the best I can and record what I eat, just to see how little I can go without for 40 days. Anyway, that's my plan. That's my announcement. The announcement is the start of a new company and the turning the other cheek away from the current company. And that's going to be the purpose behind the new company, is to start anew. And this company is not going to have paperwork. It's just going to have one website. And I believe the goal is I want 6 billion to 7 billion. I want everybody on the planet to really join. That would mean at that point that we had come to an understanding as far as what our purpose is as human beings. Everyone can still be free to worship their own God in their own way. And I'm not here to control people's belief in what is a religion to them. That's not what the job of the new company or organization will be. It will be to become closer and more knowledgeable about what God is, and to move in a direction that's going to bring us closer to all the answers that we've been searching for as a species since I can remember. Based on everything I've read, we don't know how we evolved into the humans we are today. We don't know what exactly made this universe of ours and why it's here. And we don't treat each other with respect at all, at least not on a large scale from a corporate standpoint, because with profit being the motivating factor of our entire existence, there are a lot of harmful things being done to human beings by other human beings, and it does not need to be that way. Period. It does not need to be that way. The way we're doing things is totally insane. And I just don't see the point of going any further with it the way it is. It just doesn't make any sense. I just can't understand why anyone would continue to vote for and surrender their rights to the insanity that we live in on this planet with regards to the way human beings are treating each other by making profit off of poison. Profit off of poison. Poison physically, food and water. Poison mentally, rhetoric and terror. And poison spiritually. Murder, war, destruction, electrocution, bombing, burning, cutting, maiming, scarring, all through war and medical practice. I mean, I don't mean cutting and burning and bombing just by dropping bombs. I mean, there's cutting. Doctors, all they do is surgeon on people. We've lost the reality of the strength of the power of our subconscious mind as a species. We're creators. We're not destroyers. We have the ability to create any reality we want. And the purpose of our company, the new structure, is to get everybody to decide, or at least understand how important it is to think about what you want and plan for it. We are in a complete state of chaos that's being fomented and manufactured by government corporations globally to keep you blind to the fact that you're being manipulated and that you've lost your power to create on your own as a subconscious creating being, manipulating your reality any way you see fit. But you're not doing it according to your own thinking. Your thinking is being controlled by outside forces. That's what the media does, and the rhetoric that pours from the psychological propaganda campaigns of the global military-industrial complex that's based on keeping you physically and mentally enslaved into the government corporations that are creating the situations that keep you emotionally trapped through fear. So I think that's enough for now. Thank you for watching The Ronald Show, documenting the collapse of life as we know it as perpetrated by the global military-industrial complex. I'm here at the flea market, and it is time to go sell some stuff. Maybe you'll get to see me do it a little bit. We'll see. All right? Peace.
Have you ever wanted to write a book? Have you ever wanted to write a screenplay? Have you ever wanted to have your great movie idea turned into a screenplay, turned into a movie, turned into a book, and distributed all over the world? Well, now you can learn how to do it with the great new book by Ronald Farnham, How to Write a Screenplay in 30 Days or Less. It includes the logline, theme, synopsis, outline, and screenplay of They, the Three Magic Questions. Learn how to write a screenplay in 30 days or less, or your money back. Get it today at Amazon or Barnes & Noble.
Good morning and welcome back to The Ronald Show, documenting the collapse of life as we know it as perpetrated by the global military-industrial complex. I am Ronald, and today it's Easter Sunday, April 24th, 2011, and I was looking at the box scores this morning for last night's Yankee game, and they beat whoever they were playing. I forget what team. It's not even really that important because they just massacred them. It was 15-3. Russell Martin, the catcher, hit 2 home runs. Posada hit a home run. I think A-Rod hit a grand slam. Gardner hit a home run. So they had 5 home runs in the game. Rodriguez, Posada, Russell Martin hit 2, and Gardner hit 1. Anyway, I think their record is like 12-6, something like that. They're on pace to be the world champs this year, so that's a good deal. All right, so as far as the collapse of life as we know it goes, things are still on par for the course that mankind is playing through. I guess you could call it. We're playing through this golf course of life. And it looks like, as in every game, you can see which direction the momentum has shifted. And right now the momentum is in the hands of the media at large and the psychological propaganda campaign that is being perpetrated, right? We're used to that word by now. Perpetrated by the global military industrial complex, which is just basically getting you to purchase the things that they want you to purchase while working as hard as you can for them. Hard work equals what? Big purchases, right? Well, we're getting to the point where your hard work isn't even going to allow you to buy the purchases that you need to survive. And that's probably something that should concern you. Your ability to survive. Survival is the number one rule in life. Survival. And you have a government corporation, or corporations, you have government corporations globally pitting you against your own survival in a way that you don't even realize you're being manipulated to battle yourself mentally and physically in order just to stay alive. I'm starting to realize that all food that we eat now is poison. You can't pick something up without high fructose corn syrup unless it's a fruit or a vegetable or a whole grain, a nut. Everything else is either cooked or poisoned or both. I wonder what it does to high fructose corn syrup when you cook it. I'm sure it changes the properties of it. Meat has its own digestive enzymes, and when you eat red meat or any kind of meat, you want to eat it as close to raw as possible. You want to eat it raw because it digests itself for you in your own intestines. If you can't digest that food properly because it's cooked and is just a piece of clump with no nutritional value going through your system, then you are poisoning yourself. And all that putrefied waste gets built up in your intestines, and, well, that leads to all kinds of physical illnesses that drive up your GDP, the gross domestic product, because it increases the instance of the need for health care. All right, I'm going to do a commercial here. This is the e-cigarette, disposable cigarette. It doesn't even have tobacco in it. Now, I don't smoke, but who's to tell you that smoking is bad for you or anything is bad for you? Remember, and I've said this several times, our existence is not actually physical. It's all mentally derived. So when you are driving or eating or doing anything, you are actually experiencing the physical sensations that are not actually physical. Your senses in your vessel are interpreting it as physical. And your subconscious mind, which is filled with your entire belief set of everything you believe to be real or true or fact or not true, then you are actually living a life that is not actually physical. So, food and water is the same thing. You might believe that eating food is good for you, And you might believe that eating red meat is important so you can get all the protein that you need. And you might even believe that you're supposed to drink water every day so you don't dehydrate. Well, every physical thing that you encounter is made up of light energy, plain and simple. None of it is actually physical. Therefore, you, the non-physical human being, transcribing and interpreting your experience as physical when it's truly not. It's just a series of light wavelengths being processed from their source to your source. Yet all source comes from the same source. So you might not even really need to eat. You might not even really need to work in order to be able to manifest your desired reality. Being everything is thought generated, if you believe your body is going to be in the physical shape that you want it to be, then and you can program yourself for that. There are people who have programmed their mind for not eating, to not eat, and have gone on and lived years without food or water. It's been documented. Now that means it's possible. Remember, all the bits of information that you encounter every day are designed to get you to believe a certain thing, whether it's true or not. So whatever you believe to be real for you is real. And the global subconscious mind is being manipulated to believe certain things are real. And that gives those things power over your psyche, your physical and your mental state of health, your overall psyche, how you feel, what you believe, what you get angry about, why you're angry, where the stress is coming from, ill health, cancer, heart disease, car accidents, pollution, stress, inflation, gas prices. Gas prices right now on April 24th, Sunday, are, let's see, there's a 7-Eleven. I'll tell you what the gas prices are. As soon as this light turns green. But it's like $3.80 a gallon, $3.89 a gallon. And this is all being carefully designed and manipulated from a structure of people who have long-standing power in their total control about every aspect of your life. And does that seem right? I don't know. It does not seem right to me. I don't like being a slave. Although I am a slave to reality, this perceived reality. The only way out of this whole thing is actually either through death for the individual, or that the entire subconscious mind of the planet change its way of thinking. And when you change your way of thinking, you change your reality. Now, I happen to believe that this is a beautiful planet. It's a beautiful planet with oceans and rivers and countryside and hills and mountains and blue skies and spring water and all of the things that we could want in paradise. We have a paradise here, but our minds are screwing this planet up. And remember, everything is mental. Nothing is truly physical, so we are mentally in a virus-like way, spreading throughout this planet and attacking it, its ecosystem, its natural beauty, its air and water supplies, and we don't have to do that anymore. I mean, it's not a requirement of mankind to totally screw up their ecosystem and their environment. You are being programmed. First of all, you're not even a part of the problem. You are in a way, but you are powerless against it because you're actually the a resource to the global military-industrial complex mind that is perpetuating the psyche that is being used to do what is being done on our planet with regards to human beings killing each other, human beings fighting each other over different ideologies, human beings killing plant, animal, and water life, human beings killing themselves, and human beings scraping the top surface of this planet, making it, not the prettiest place it needs to be. Mankind disappears from here, from this earth, the Earth's surface will clean right up. It won't take long. It won't take long at all. Not as far as time goes. Then again, time. I'd like to have somebody email me about their concept of what time is. If I read something that makes sense and clicks, I'll read it on the show. That's fine. But what I'm trying to get across to you is that when we come together as one planet, thinking about one outcome that we all agree upon, which will probably be no war, no murder, no poisoning, no self-inflicting physical and mental pain, and no killing each other and ourselves, then I think that we can all agree that do not kill is probably the number one law that we can follow, that we are not following. And this might take a transition period. I'm sure it will. Everything does. Life is all about time and the journey through time. This apparently physical yet non-physical journey through time where everything happens. The e-cigarette. My sister actually sells these. Now this is designed to help people stop smoking. It's a good product. You can smoke it inside in a car. See the smoke? Pretty cool. It's not a special effect. I'm really blowing out smoke. Our goal is to form a new company online, a Facebook-like place where everyone says, sign me up. Once we have like 7 billion, all the people on the planet are signed up, especially the huge business owners and the people posing as politicians. As soon as who are really just corporate cogs in the bureaucratic wheel of the United States corporation. As soon as everybody's signed up, then we can all sign out and disenroll from our United States corporation, and that will in effect evaporate the monetary system, which is the driving force behind the psychological propaganda campaign being perpetrated by the global military-industrial complex that's designed to keep us in a state of servitude. It's 6,999,000,000 people on this planet being controlled by 1 million, probably a body of 1 million, a bureaucratic body of 1 million people that makes up the government corporations, the businesses, and the Illuminati, or whatever, the powers that be, the global military-industrial complex. They're all part of that one same system with that one same outcome that they desire. And I'm not even really sure what that outcome is. I know it doesn't involve anything short of enslaving every human being on the planet and then killing off the ones that they don't desire anymore, that are useless. And that's done through drugs, alcohol, tobacco, poison food. Look at Hollywood today. It's the people that look like they don't eat, who have it together pretty much, who are out there in Hollywood land, mingling in Bohemian Grove, where, the Rockefellers and everybody meets up every summer out in California and has their ceremony to Baal, the owl, where they drop a child through the arms of it and into a boiling, burning sacrificial pit. Anyway, think about what you want. Sign up for it. Be ready to disenroll from your current government corporation. Be ready to tear up your social security card. Be ready to turn the other cheek. Be ready to take all your money out of the bank and burn it. Be ready to store food and water so that you have enough for every person in your family for about a year or two while the transition is made. And be ready for life to improve an infinite fold in technology, comfort, travel, knowledge, freedom, and health. That's pretty much the byproduct that will come of that, is freedom of your mind and body to live the greatest life that it can live. Right now you have the capability of doing that with the current system that you're living in, but the odds against it happening are so enormous against you physically and mentally, especially when you're living somebody else's version of the truth, and that truth is not really the truth or the way or the word, or I don't know, I'm trying to put things in a biblical sounding context, but what's the truth that's being planted into your subconscious mind? That truth dictates your reality. Do you like your reality? That's all you have to do is answer that question, is do you like your current reality? Do you like the current reality? Do you like the way the global subconscious mind is behaving? What do you like? What do you want? I know what I want, and that's why I'm telling you, hey, if you guys like what I want, just let's sign up and do this. If you don't, then that's cool. It's like multi-level marketing. I guess this is the LMM or MLM, multi-level marketing of salvation of the human spirit and of planet Earth. So think about that. See what you come up with. Mail me a letter. Or email me. But I get so much email, I won't get to it. Physical mail, that's the best way. Physical mail. Physical mail, P.O. Box 26 or P.O. Box 60026, Palm Bay, Florida 32906. That's my physical mailing address. It goes right to the mailbox, right to the post office. All right, kids. Thanks for watching. I'm Ronald. Thanks for watching The Ronald Show, documenting the collapse of life as we know it, as perpetrated by the global military-industrial complex. I love you guys. Peace.
Now available at Amazon and Barnes & Noble is Harry Johnson, Diary of a Gigolo Porn Star. The crazy adventure of a 1951-born male in Beaufort, Georgia with a 2-foot penis that grows to 3 feet. He goes on to become an international porn star after becoming a war hero in Vietnam. Get it today at Amazon or Barnes & Noble.
Hey Nick, let's play that game that you gave us that we don't understand. Well, what's it called?
Trivial Pursuit?
That's it, you have to answer things.
You sure you feel up to playing that?
No, he'll drop dead from the excitement. Oh, I'm fine. You want to play? Let's play.
Nicky, you know who I saw today in the accounting department at Padlock? Caitlin O'Hare.
Oh, terrific. The last time you brought her here, you almost killed the poor boy.
She's still very nice, Nicky, and her aunt is a wonderful canasta player.
That's exactly what I look for in a woman. Can we just please play?
Oh, whatever you want, Nicholas.
All right, Gramps. How about Tuesday week?
All right, Nick, you play the game and roll the dice, and we'll just come up with those answers.
Okay, Gramps, you're on green.
All right, great.
Okay, everybody quiet.
Okay.
All right.
We're ready.
All right.
Nice and loud, okay.
Read the question, Gramps. Science and nature.
All right, read the question, all right. What is the process by which plants form carbohydrates when they are exposed to light?
What the hell kind of question is that?
That's what it says.
Too hard. Give us another.
All right.
No, wait, stop! That's how you play the game. That's the point. If you don't know the answer, you lose a turn.
But what the hell kind of question was
It
that?
was a science question.
It was about a plan!
Nick, it's the first question. They're not thinking hard yet. We'll give them another one just for now, okay?
Good point. I forgot that not thinking hard gets that.
All right, here's the next one. Who starred with Grace Kelly in High Noon?
Oh, that's a nice one.
That actor.
Right, the one with the ears!
Oh, that was like him.
That's it. Go again.
No, wait. Stop! That's the answer. The one with the ears.
No, but I know who they mean.
But they have to tell you who they mean. That's how you play the game. That's the point. That's why it's fun.
Breathe.
Calm down. Baby, calm down. Don't have another attack. Okay. Now, we will think of who the guy with the ears, okay? Who the hell's the guy with the ears?
Didn't Humphrey Bogart have ears?
Oh, he dated Lana Turner.
Jimmy Stewart.
Jimmy Stewart didn't date Lana Turner.
No.
No, Jimmy Stewart was married to the woman with the hair.
No, the wealthy guy with the nose was married to the woman with the hair.
No, that was the other woman with the hair. Jimmy Stewart was married to the woman with the hair with the face.
Wasn't the woman with the face married to the man with the face?
No, that was the man with the feet.
Well, then who dated Lana Turner?
Oh, that gangster she killed. Somebody.
No. Her daughter killed the gangster with the butcher knife.
Right, the daughter with the butcher knife.
That's right.
Right. What was the question again?
I know the question. High noon.
Right, the actor with the ears. What's his name? Going to win.
Clark Gable!
Clark Gable!
Clark Gable, very good. Go again.
Happy.
No. Clark Gable was not in High Noon.
Get out of here, he was.
Did you read the back of the card?
Gary Cooper. No! Clark Gable and Lana Turner. Go again.
When Nicholas was in the hospital, I wish something was wrong with him. Not something terrible, God forbid, but something wrong enough so he would have to stay, so he couldn't leave us, so I could take care of him. We always want to take care of them so much, just like we did when they were little. It doesn't matter how old they get, you just always want to take care of them.
Okay. What author was appointed U.S. ambassador to Spain in 1842?
My, give us a number.
No, wait, I know this.
You do not.
Yes, when you and that Mario Perillo dragged me to Spain, they had a little statue about this guy. I know this.
What's the answer?
Okay, all right, what's the name of your girlfriend who married the guy who steals cars?
What?
You mean Irene?
Right, Irene. Now, what's Irene's sister's name?
Gramps, do these questions have any vague sort of point?
Shut up, you're sick. What's Irene's sister's name?
Which one?
The one who drinks.
They all drink.
The one who's not fat. Irma. Now, remember when we saw her at the ShopRite when they're having the special and frozen foods, buy two, get one free?
Bulltown.
ShopRite.
No, Bulltown has the buy two, get one free. ShopRite has the double coupon days.
And Passport has the big fish in the window.
Gramps.
All right. What's her name? Irma. Now, remember we saw her, and she was with some guy, and we were both amazed, because she wasn't drunk and the guy had no teeth. What was that guy's name?
Something.
Yes, it was a Jewish name. You're right, it was a Jewish name. What's a Jewish name?
Hey, now who do we know who's Jewish?
I think Henny Youngman's Jewish.
We know Henny Youngman.
No, it's a name like Henny Youngman, but different. Give me another.
Sid Caesar.
Nope.
Number.
Nope, Teddy Green.
Gramps, you know the answer.
I'm caught up in the excitement.
It's Marvin Jewish.
Oh, wait, that's not it, but gonna give him another attack.
Oh, shh! Nikki, you expect too much. You look for the perfect girl, and you find no one. You worry about your life and your job and what it all means. You just expect too much.
Listen to your grandmother, Nick.
That's right, because we never expected like you. We were told a good life was when you find a husband and you have children and you send your children to school and you put food on the table and you don't die doing it. And then we told our children they could have so much more. They could go to any school they want, have any job they want, meet wonderful people, and maybe that's the way it should be. And you had so much more than we ever expected, and we are so proud of you. But then you gotta go to a head doctor, and the whole family moves away from each other. We didn't have to do that. So, did we make you a better life? Maybe not a worse life, but better? No, only different. See? You didn't have an attack.
Enough with the game. Who's hungry?
I need some Danish.
No, wait, I'm gonna tell a story.
Let me get the thing.
This story is so good you don't even need food.
There is no such thing.
What story are you talking about?
The story of how I won you.
Oh, they don't want to hear that again.
Tell us, tell us.
Go ahead.
All right.
News always changes, and I like it.
All right, Nikki. You want to hear it?
As long as it won't get me too excited, perhaps.
You know, Nikki, your grandmother lived not far from here in a 4-story walk-up. And every day, I would climb over the fence, sneak under her window, and serenade her.
This is not true.
Would you let me tell my story?
Story is right. I didn't know him. His father dragged him to my house. My father talked to him. His father talked to me. And then both fathers told us we were getting married.
It happened 60 years ago. Can't I tell it the way I like it? All right. The first time I saw your grandmother was on a street corner. It was a beautiful day, beautiful sunshine, and she was waiting for a bus.
And I was the most gorgeous, eligible, popular girl in the whole neighborhood.
What?
Hey, you want to tell the story your way? I'll tell the story my way.
Well, when I saw her, it was amazing. She was smiling. I'd never seen anything like it before. She was so beautiful, you could drink her from a glass.
I'm sorry, I was wrong. This story is all true.
Well, naturally, I was too nervous to say anything to her. So I just watched her get on the bus. But I stood there all day till another bus returned her to that very spot. When she strolled home, I followed, climbed over the fence into her backyard, went under her window, and every night for a month, I sang her this one song. Yes, sir, that's my baby.
No, I'm going to get the accordion.
Help me, baby. Yes, sir, that's my baby now. When she first came down, I was still too nervous to say words to her. So I just kept on singing. Yes, sir, that's my baby. No, sir, he baby. Yes, sir, that's my baby now. By the way.
Whenever I see an old black and white movie, I can't help but think that that's what things were like in my grandparents' day. That they lived these very black and white lives, and that they were all very serious, very earnest, rather joyless. But sometimes, not very often, but definitely sometimes, they give me a glimpse of what they were really like. And suddenly their past would be splashed with color. I get a peek at them when they were young and sexual and had their whole lives mapped out before them.
Baby.